My dad ate venison carved from a deer that walked on two legs. Now he isn't my dad anymore. Won the deer in the woods. 3 months ago, Dad and I were hunting the back ridge when the third buck lurched upright on two legs and shambled toward us. 6 rifle shots, one through the skull didn't drop it. The thing finally toppled, leaking black-gray pulp. I puked in the ferns. Dad left the carcass where it fell. We hauled the 2 normal deer home, froze one for us, saved the other for the town barbecue. I refused every hunt after that. To the barbecue. 2 weeks ago, Miller's field was strung with fairy lights and smoke. I sneaked to warm beers for Lucy's sick. We were inches from our first kiss when the screaming started. On the hay wagon, Lucy's dad, Lara, rammed an unopened beer can down his throat. Metal popping cartilage, blank eyes, no struggle, just obedience. Paramedics covered the body. Dad ordered me to march my little sister home. His face looked the way the dead deers had. 3 contagion within 48 hours, the pattern repeated. Mr. Strobe, our track coach, slid his neck between motorized bleachers and hit close. A barista steamed her own arm, staring customers in the eye. A doctor injected air into his heart. Always the same vacant expression. Never a headshot, always the body. School closed. Town meetings filled with whispered theories. Dad grew silent and pale. For the tunnel, while Mom and Dad sat in crisis council, I ditched Grandma's house and hiked the rail cut. A freight train's headlights flashed across a legless man on the tracks inside the tunnel. I yelled no. Answer crept closer. He wasn't dead. He dragged himself forward, one arm broken, lips black, eyes empty like straws. I ran until dusk blurred and collapsed inside a hollow oak. 5. The kitchen. I reached Grandma's farmhouse after dark. Inside, chaos. Dad wrestled a revolver. Grandma tried sawing off his trigger finger with a paring knife. Mom screaming for rope. 2 shots, shattered plaster and window glass. We hog-tied him in blood-slick knots. His eyes were marble. Government men in biohazard suits collected him at dawn. They asked one odd question. Where's the venison from your last hunt? 6. The freezer. Mom's question that night. What did your father do with the meat? Nailed me awake. Dad kept trophies in the backyard shed. If 2 deer were in the chest freezer, maybe none of this was his fault. I crept outside, lifted the lid. 1 frozen carcass, not 2. The hatch hammered from the inside. Metal latch snapped. The freezer toppled, spilling a half-thawed deer that writhed, muscles cracking ice. It rose on 2 legs. 7. The yard. I bolted and slammed into Dad. Hospital gown, skin cold, pupils huge. I'm sick, he whispered, voice shaking. But it isn't just me in here. The deer lurched from the shed, rake tines embedded in its muzzle. Neighbors' porch lights flared. Mom rushed forward too late. A shotgun blast from over the fence vaporized the deer's skull into icy shards. Dad still clutched me, muttering the same phrase over and over. It's in us, and it wants us. 8. Quarantine diary. Now most townsfolk tested clean. Mom and my sister did. I didn't. Doctors call it phase 1. Oily whispers beneath your own thoughts. They say adolescence slows the takeover. Dad's in phase 3, tied to a bed, eyes following unseen things. The voice inside me writes alongside these words. It remembers epochs when land-bridged oceans and sunlight never reached the spores buried deep in Appalachian soil. It tasted deer first, then landscapers, coaches, baristas, hunters, and now me. IT likes my brain. IT wants yours. If a smiling neighbor gives you venison wrapped in greasy butcher paper, burn it. If a hunter's eyes look hollow, run before dinner is served. If hoofbeats echo where no deer should stand, do not look, because once you swallow what walks on 2 legs, you'll never be alone again.